Hello guys, how you all doing today? It's me, it's Smilementor75 guys. I'm back for another video, and I've got a question for you. Does Flo Kamberi deserve another chance at Hibs? Let's talk about that. So guys, as I said in the intro there, I've got a question for everybody connected with Hibs. Does Flo Kamberi deserve another chance? Bear in mind now that he's back to being a Hibs player following the conclusion of his loan spell at Ibrox. I'm going to get the ball rolling with this. To be wholeheartedly honest, yeah, I think he does kind of deserve another chance. Because let's no mess about here, guys. Flo Kamberi is a good player. There's no getting away from that. I'm not going to say he's a quality player or he's a game changer, because I didn't think that he is, but I think he's a good squad player to have. Definitely, I believe that he's a good squad player because, yeah, I mean, sometimes his attitude's called into question, and I think that's extremely evident in a lot of past matches where he seems to spit the dummy out and you can see that he's not interested. But when he is interested, when he's on the ball, he's a great player. There's no denying that. His goals back that up. You know, he's scored a good few goals for Hibs. So, yeah, I mean, I think on the one hand he does deserve another chance, but on the other hand, he hurt a lot of people with what he said when he signed for Rangers. This whole, oh, since I came to Scotland, I've dreamed for signing for Rangers, and you know, Rangers are this, Rangers are that. I can't, the best supporters in the world, and blah blah blah. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, and this again, I'm being real here. I think if you sign for a team like Rangers, you are going to say that, because in a lot of ways it gets you a lot of credibility with the supporters. You know what I mean? Your credibility with the fans can kill you with teams like Rangers. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, let's be honest, teams like Celtic, Rangers, you know, bigger teams down south, Rangers, shut up Stephen, I've said Rangers already, Rangers, Celtic, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, you know, if you sign for one of these massive names, you're going to say that you've dreamt about it, because there's a good chance you probably have. Rangers and Celtic are a massive name in British football. There is no getting away from that. They, unfortunately, and it grinds my gears to say it, unfortunately, they rule Scottish football. Has always been the case. It's been the case in my lifetime. My dad's lifetime as well. You know, my dad was lucky enough, I suppose, in a lot of ways, to see other teams like Dundee United and Aberdeen break the old firm and win league titles between them. But in my lifetime, it's either been Celtic that's won it or it's Rangers. It's a two-horse race. Do you know what I mean? I'm a die-in-the-wheel hibby, as you all know, but I'm real. Do you know what I mean? And I know that there's a good chance Hibs will not, in my lifetime anyway, they'll not win the league. Unless massive investment is made. You know what I mean? That's always going to be the case. But Rangers and Celtic are massive names in Scottish football and British football. They could survive down south. And I'm saying that now because I think with the stadium, training ground, the fan base that they have got good finances as well. With the money that comes in from Sky deals and whatnot, there is no reason why Rangers and Celtic couldn't go down south and become a force. And I mean a real force. You know what I mean? I mean, Celtic and Rangers, they get 50, 60,000 through the door easily every week. As I say, you know, their away following is fantastic. You know, I mind watching a game a couple of years ago when Celtic played Sunderland in a pre-season friendly, hammered them, and the stadium was practically full of Celtic supporters. That tells you all you need to know. Do you know what I mean? So I understand in a way Kamberi's comment saying that he's dreamt about playing for a team like Rangers, which is fair enough. But you only say things like that when you have permanently signed. He was always going to come back to Hibs. So the fact that he's came back to Hibs after saying that, he's hurt a lot of people, myself included. I felt really let down by him. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, if he does get another chance under Jack Ross, he's got a lot to ask us to do. But I didn't actually think Jack Ross fancies him. I didn't. So I think personally he deserves another chance. I'm going to leave that to the floor, and people can basically say what they want about it. Obviously, also if any Rangers fans are watching this, let me know your opinion of Canberra. Did you enjoy having him on loan at your team for the second half of the season, or did you maybe agree with what Hibs fans were saying on social media that he wasn't worth much? I'll leave that to the floor. Coming back to what I was saying about Jack Ross here, Jack Ross isn't messing about now. He's released, obviously, 3 players at the end of their contract, one being Adam Bogdan, Fakinta Slivka and Stephen Whittaker. They've all been told their contracts will not be getting renewed, so they have been released. We've lost 4 loan players, Greg Docherty, Stefano Mionga, Mark McNulty and Stefano Mionga. I think if I said his name twice, it doesn't matter. But basically, obviously, we've now lost these players as well. So we've lost 7 players in 2 days. Does Jack Ross have a big plan to bring in players? Is he content with what we've got currently at Hibs? Personally speaking, I think we need at least 5 or 6 players to come in to replace these guys that we've lost. We need a goal scorer now, because obviously we've not got Mark McNulty there anymore. Again, I don't get what the score is with Canberra, but we'll see how that goes. But genuinely, it's interesting to see what's going to happen at Hibs in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, the season is now over. You know, we finished 7th, which I know isn't ideal, but at the same time, looking at where we were when Jack Ross took over to where we are now, okay, it's an improvement. The football side of things, we seem to be a wee bit more able. That's probably the right word, because I still think we're defensively quite soft. We seem to be showing a wee bit more going forward, but we're relying heavily on Martin Boyle and his pace to open teams up. That was quite evident the last couple of games before lockdown. They were relying on him quite heavily with his pace. Obviously, we've got a goal scorer there in Doidge, but he can't do it all on his own. We need another one, in my opinion. It is going to be an interesting couple of weeks. Obviously, as well, we've still got potentially the Scottish Cup semi-final to look forward to against Hearts. I don't know how that's going to pan out, because let's face it, when are we going to play these games? Do you know what I mean? I think we need to ask ourselves this massively right now. When are we going to play these games? Equally, on top of that, with the way lockdown is going, can we play these games behind closed doors? Do we want to take the chance on having 2 big city derbies in one place? I don't know. I just, personally speaking, and I am just saying this, I think it's probably best just to avoid the competition right now. That's my opinion. I think, obviously, leagues are different when it comes to the null and void option. Personally speaking, I didn't think the Scottish Cup's that important that we take a massive risk. As I say, if it had been Celtic versus, I don't know, Celtic versus Inverness or Hibs versus Dundee or whatever, you could argue and say, right, it'll not be that bad, but it's 2 massive city derbies in the space of a weekend in one place. So potentially speaking, you'll have 50,000 people there from Glasgow in one place. They go away one day, and then another 50,000 people from Edinburgh come into Glasgow in the exact same space. I think it's too much a risk. That's my opinion. I'll leave it to the floor as to how we combat this and how we move forward. But it's certainly going to be an interesting couple of weeks. But as I said, guys, I wanted to just come through and just quick video, quick asking a question of the whole thing going on with Hibs and now in Flo Canberra. So I'll leave it to the floor. If you've enjoyed my ramblings, give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me out when you do that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It's Murray Minter 75. Find me on Twitter, it's @Murray1875. Find me on Instagram and Facebook. It's on Facebook, it's Stephen Murray. On Instagram, it's Murray Minter 75 again. Please, as I say, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell bell icon beside the subscribe button. That will let you know when I upload. With that being said, guys, until next time, peace.